When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Show who's in charge, hit you with shoulder charge. Leader of the pack, leader of the squad. Right from the kickoff, I give it my all. You not the center of attention, take a hype and gone. I'm official like a referee with whistle, super pixel. My potential sharp as pencil, got a missile. Drop back and I launch that. Hands good, so we caught that. Next play, they fall back. I tell them to move the chains. I got moves for days. I just do it my way. Sun, snow, or rain. Nobody seeing me. DBs is double teaming me. Speedy feet, free me up, leave me open, throw it for a TD easily. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah, I'm playing for keeps, I'm running it up, what you gon' do? I'm watching the rock, I'm making a stop, I'm coming through. No need to block, cause you can't stop a raging bull. Break out the huddle, make you fumble, return to your coach to humble. You sub, you out, you underperforming. Me and my team is forming up a W. Any formation, no way or home field advantages. You get these damages, I'm in great stamina. We won championships, I'm racking up every season. Check out my resume, taking out your team on to the next, whoever's in my way. Rookie to an MVP, I'm always player of the game. Unanimous decision when they send me to the Hall of Fame. Hey, you can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah. Okay. E.T.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
42.
You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Show who's in charge, hit you with shoulder charge. Leader of the pack, leader of the squad. Right from the kickoff, I give it my all. You not the center of attention, take a hype and gone. I'm official like a referee with super pixel. My potential sharp as pencil, got a missile. Drop back and I launch that. Hands good, so we caught that. Next play, they fall back. I tell them to move the chains. I got moves for days. I just do it my way. Sun, snow, or rain. Nobody seeing me. DBs is double teaming me. Speedy feet, free me up, leave me open, throw it for a TD easily. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah, I'm playing for keeps, I'm running it up, what you gon' do? I'm watching the rock, I'm making a stop, I'm coming through. No need to block, cause you can't stop a raging bull. Break out the huddle, make you fumble, return to your coach to humble. You sub, you out, you underperforming. Me and my team is forming up a W. Any formation, no way or home field advantages. You get these damages, I'm in great stamina. We won championships, I'm racking up every season. Check out my resume, taking out your team on to the next, whoever's in my way. Rookie to an MVP, I'm always player of the game. Unanimous decision when they send me to the Hall of Fame. Hey, you can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah. Okay. E.T.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
42.
You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Got me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Show who's in charge. Hit you with shoulder charge. Leader of the pack, leader of the squad. Right from the kickoff, I give it my all. You not the center of attention, take a hype and gone. I'm official like a referee with whistle, super pixel. My potential sharp as pencil, got a missile. Drop back and I launch that. Hands good, so we caught that. Next play, they fall back. I tell them to move the chains. I got moves for days. I just do it my way. Sun, snow, or rain. Nobody seeing me. DBs is double teaming me. Speedy feet, free me up, leave me open, throw it forward, TD easily. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah, I'm playing for keeps, I'm running it up, what you gon' do? I'm watching the rock, I'm making a stop, I'm coming through. No need to block, cause you can't stop a raging bull. Break out the huddle, make you fumble, return to your coach to humble you, sub you out, you underperforming. Me and my team is forming up a W. Any formation, no way or home field advantages. You get these damages, I'm in great stamina. We won championships, I'm racking up every season. Check out my resume, taking out your team on to the next, whoever's in my way. Rookie to an MVP, I'm always player of the game. Unanimous decision when they send me to the Hall of Fame. Hey, you can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah. Okay. E.T.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
42.
You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Show who's in charge. Hit you with shoulder charge. Leader of the pack, leader of the squad. Right from the kickoff, I give it my all. You not the center of attention, take a hype and gone. I'm official like a referee with whistle, super pixel. My potential sharp as pencil, got a missile. Drop back and I launch that. Hands good, so we caught that. Next play, they fall back. I tell them to move the chains. I got moves for days. I just do it my way. Sun, snow, or rain. Nobody seeing me. DBs is double teaming me. Speedy feet, free me up, leave me open, throw it forward, TD easily. You can't stop me. Take it to the I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah, I'm playing for keeps, I'm running it up, what you gon' do? I'm watching the rock, I'm making a stop, I'm coming through. No need to block, cause you can't spur raging bull. Break out the huddle, make you fumble, return to your coach to humble you, sub you out, you underperforming. Me and my team is forming up a W. Any formation, no way or home field advantages. You get these damages, I'm in great stamina. We won championships, I'm racking up every season. Check out my resume, taking out your team on to the next, whoever's in my way. Rookie to an MVP, I'm always player of the game. Unanimous decision when they send me to the Hall of Fame. Hey, you can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me, take it to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Yeah. Okay. ET.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
42.
You can't stop me taking to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. You can't stop me taking to the house and I'm gone. When I touch down, I hit the pylon. It's the making of a legend when the lights on. Another win, another ring, I got my eyes on. Show who's in charge. Hit you with shoulder charge. Leader of the pack, leader of the squad. Right from the kickoff, I give it my all. You not the center of attention, take a hype and gone. I'm official like a referee with whistle, super pixel. My potential sharp as pencil, got a missile. Drop back and I launch that. Hands good, so we caught that. Next play, they fall back. I tell them to move the chains. I got moves for days. I just do it my way. Sun, snow, or rain. Nobody seeing me. DBs is double teaming me.
There we go. Okay. You there? All right, sorry. I was trying to get some things going. I think we're live. Maybe you can double check on the YouTube. There might be a lag to it though, because we should be live. Yep. Cool. So yeah. So let me just fix up one quick thing and then we can roll. So I built this little screen here. Let's do a mic check though. Can you just talk for a second?
Weird as I did last time, and I'll do my best not to swallow the microphone as I
There
talk.
you go. All right, now you were on mute, so now they can hear you. So you should be good now. And then,
I just saw that they couldn't hear me, but you said I was muted, right?
yeah, let me get your.
There we go. Phenomenal view says I'm up now.
Let me get your volume up. Just keep talking for a sec.
Man, I don't have that many interesting things to say yet.
All right, there we go. I think it's
Cool.
good. I'm gonna put you down a little bit because I know you get excited when you start talking.
I do get
so.
excited. I can't help it.
All right, so
Right.
we're live. We always take a while to do this, guys. So it is what it is. We're not pros here, but we have a few things we want to talk about. But before we get started, it's been quite the week at the house. We had COVID here, so luckily I didn't get it. I know you had your struggles with it too, but
Yeah, we're just finally getting over it too.
yeah. So luckily we were good. Everything turned out fine. Hopefully we'll see how it goes, but somehow I dodged it. I'm not sure how, but
Lucky.
it's been interesting. So we're on Google Meet. And I'm doing this through OBS. So I hope it looks okay on their end.
I don't know. It looks okay. I peek in the YouTube to see what's going on in chat. It looks okay to me. So we might be good this time.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like we're on both sides. Okay. Everything looks good to me as well. All right. So what are we doing today? So we have another one of our shows that we're doing, obviously. And what we want to do is just have a discussion like we normally do. And we have a few things we want to talk about. And one of the first things
I'm sure there will be some rabbit holes and distracted conversations we get into as normal.
Yeah, we always get into some discussion that doesn't
sort
really
of nonsense takes
doesn't
over.
really make any sense. But we're here for you guys. We're here just to kind of just break away from game dev and our everyday lives, and we're trying to just do this for fun. But how you been, man?
Not too bad. It's nice to be relatively healthy again. It seems like it's been forever, but now I got energy to work on my games again, and I'm starting to grind through the code much better than I was the last month. So it's been nice.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. You look good. You look like you're all
Thanks.
freshened up. Your office looks like it changed a little bit. So
Yeah, we moved some stuff around. That office I had before was that was set up for temporary working from home, right? And the temporary is now what are we going on, 2 years, 3 years? So I
I don't
finally
know.
moved it around, so it makes a little more sense. I got a lot more room. um Game devs got more space. Work computer gets a little less space, but sorry.
Whoa. All right. So basically, we have some topics that we put on here that we want to talk about. So you guys out in the chat, thanks for the donation, Klep. Appreciate
Yeah,
that and all the work that
and
you're
they're always
doing.
coming through for you. Nice.
Yeah, they've been coming through lately, and it's cool to see. I've been working heavy. Maybe we can talk about what we've been working on real quick, and then we can get into
Yeah,
it. But
we could start off with that. People like that stuff.
yeah, maybe some people do. Some people don't
You
care.
wouldn't be here if they didn't.
No, we have 18 people here, which is nice. I appreciate everybody
Yeah.
coming through. We don't get we're getting, quite a few people that watch it, but it's just like I said,
That's
this is
18 times my average Twitch audience.
and we're going to try to do a better job of keeping up with the chat. So if you guys are chatting in here, we'll try to answer any questions and go through, any comments you guys may have. If you guys want to post some things on here, we're here for you as well. But the one thing that Sean and I, we really pride ourselves in just being fans of the football sport and the games, and we don't talk any nonsense. We'll joke around, but we tell it how it is, and it's for those of you guys who watch us and subscribe to us, you guys know that we don't sugarcoat anything. But as far as what I've been working on, obviously I'm still working on franchise mode. I call it franchise mode. I've heard flack from people that say you can't call it franchise mode because it needs to be, 2K5 or better. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm working on.
It's franchise mode. Once you called it franchise, you made it. You call it whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Is.
It's going to be franchise mode. That's what it is. And whatever anybody thinks, I'm going to hear it. And that's cool. But it's a cool mode. And maybe we can talk about that as part of this show. So stick around and stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to show some screens or some video or something. I don't know. We'll see. My computer was crashing a minute ago, so I might not be able to show it, but we'll see. The game's working, and I'm almost there. I've gone through, free agency, retirement, draft. I'm like 85% done. And then there's going to be just some polishing up to make it all kind of just work together. But it's coming around. It's been about, I don't even know how long it's been because COVID hit us, but I'd say about a month, maybe this whole month.
It's been a month. It feels like 5 years because
Yeah.
of COVID.
It feels like 20 years.
Oh my God.
But that's what I've been working on, and it's coming along well. I'm really excited to get it out there and show people and see what they do with the game. I know a lot of people don't really play the game either because A, it's not on consoles yet, or B, it doesn't have a franchise mode. And hopefully franchise mode is going to help with getting more people engaged in the game and getting them to play multiple years and getting more out of the game. So
yeah, I'm excited because I saw that you posted something on Twitter about the draft, right? Everybody knows, well, everybody that follows me knows I'm a sucker for drafts. Love the draft.
yeah, and it's amazing, like, doing the logic and coding it up to figure out, which I'm still kind of looking at, because the AI, when you tell the AI to pick a player from the draft, you could go all sorts of directions. And I know I asked you about what you do.
Yeah, I did go all sorts of directions.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they really have to analyze their entire team. They got to look at the age of players. In my game, you're going to have to look at other things like morale, because that's going to dictate whether people want to stick around or not. Contracts obviously are a big thing, because the heavier in my game, the heavier your contracts are, the payroll, the more likely it is for you to lose players. Okay. Yeah. And so that's a big thing. So you want to keep that as low as possible. So the ideal team has the lowest contract total, and then, obviously wins the most games, and there you go. But to draft,
think about it, that's what all franchises you're supposed to be doing, right? You're supposed to get the most talent for your money.
Yeah, you're supposed
You
to
don't need
run
to
an efficient
overcomplicate
business.
it. Yeah.
No, no. So what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I think pretty solidly from the last stream we did. I've been working on the Cyberball game. Um, I got, I'd say almost all of the screens are done. So the way I'm approaching this one is right. I have a modeler. I'm decided to bite the bullet. I found somebody who's really making awesome models and he's really fast. Pretty good price, really good technique, has really good ideas for some creativity and things like that. So got somebody doing models. We're going to make our own Cyberball models. The strategy is we want them to be similar to the old Cyberball, but with a little bit of flair, right? Make them a little better, make them a little more interesting. We're going to have more models, right? The old Cyberball, I think, only had, I want to say 6 or 7 different players, and we're going at least 9, maybe more. So I
Nice.
got the modeling stuff going on. And while that's going on, I'm sort of hammering through all the screens in the game, get the whole interface working with game pads and multiplayer and all that stuff. So that when we get all the models ready and I can jump into the game engine, that the game is basically fully functional except for the engine on the field. So hopefully, cross fingers, this speeds up development a ton.
Awesome. Yeah. So how
Yeah, so
many
that's kind
players
of
are
where
you
I'm
going to
at. I've got
have? Yeah.
80% of the screens done already. Now I'm diving into things like playbooks and generating some plays and setting up what the team defaults are and things like that.
Yeah, you're moving pretty quick from what I saw,
Yeah.
at least in the UI is coming around, and I like the way it looks. But what are you doing for you said there were 9 players, but how many are going to be on the field at one time? What is it, like
Oh, it'll
5?
be exactly like Cyberball. It'll be 7 players on the
7
field.
players. Okay.
But Cyberball uses like they have wide receiver, running back, quarterback, passing back, tight end on offense. So that's 5. On defense, they got like the corner, the safety, the middle linebacker, and then there's like this one guy. I don't know what he is. He's like an outside linebacker, I think. So I'm having all of those, but I'm also adding in like a strong safety and a free safety are going to be different players. An outside linebacker and a middle linebacker are going to be different players. Um, the right now linemen are probably all going to be the same or similar. So I guess I'm really only adding 1 or 2 extra models, but each of those, the difference with this new Cyberball is each of those positions is going to be upgradable individually, where the old Cyberball, you couldn't upgrade any of the defense. You kind of just upgraded defense as a whole in between quarters. So we're trying to step things forward a little bit, right? I don't want to just recreate a game that was 20 some years old. Kind of want to update it a little bit where it makes sense for now. And then try to keep everything else, the principle of the game, the same.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I can't wait to see it unfold. I mean, you haven't really been doing any videos, right? You've been kind of keeping it like quiet for now.
Because I want to get, so my plan is I want to get 3 models done and animate them before I start putting videos out. Because nobody wants to see videos of user interface, right? Who cares about that? Nobody cares about that. I got 1 model done. I'm ready to animate that guy. I should probably have 2 more within the next couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, probably.
Okay.
And then once I have 3 models, I'll start doing some gameplay and putting some videos out. So that's the plan.
All right. Cool. Looks good. I am going to get, oh geez, I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. I'm trying to get
A lot of interest in your hat. I'm looking at the
oh,
chat.
really?
I love the hat.
They keep saying that I'm wearing it every day or something. Yeah, I got like 20, I think I got 24 hats that I purchased, right? And so they're sitting in my closet back here, but you're not supposed to sell them. Like that's what the place told me.
Yeah,
They're like,
so what is the deal with that? How are they telling you that you can't sell hats that you paid for?
well, here's the thing. Like those hats are new era hats. Like if you go to their website, you can kind of see their custom shop that you can go and order them, and you have to order at least 24. I really wanted one bad, so I ordered them, and I figured that I would either A, sell some, or B, and or give them away, contests, whatever.
Mhm.
But what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect from people like buying a bunch of them and making their own design and then selling them. They want people to buy through them, right? They want them to go through their custom store. So if you think about it, like if
I
you
would say
bought
that that already happened though. You went through them to get the hats.
right, but what they're trying to do is protect people from like basically recreating, competing with them, basically, I think. Because if you're going to be a store that sells their hats, they probably have a
Yeah,
different type of avenue to go through. This is more for a
maybe.
consumer to buy them, but whatever. I
Yeah,
might
it's
sell
weird.
some.
It's weird that they would do that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I paid a lot of money for them, and
I was gonna say because every hat that you sell is a hat that you bought from them.
yeah, it was like 700
So
something
there's really no
dollars. It's not
competition.
cheap.
They're a sub supplier of you, and you would think they would encourage you to sell hats.
Yeah, and I didn't get into the legality behind it, but they
Very
said,
strange.
yeah, they said that, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, so what am I doing here? I'm trying to bring up. I'm doing this through OBS, which
Uh-oh.
I'm doing all this work because of stupid StreamYard, and the
I
fact
know, like that. What you didn't like the StreamYard logo, and you've been tying yourself in knots to get away from that.
I know, I'm crazy. I have OCD, bro. I cannot like just do things half-assed. That's just the way I am,
I
man.
know.
But all right, I got it pretty much up and running. Let's see if I can transition over to it, and let's see if this works. So, boom.
Oh my
Now,
goodness, the
now everything,
transitions, man. They
now
do look
everything,
nice.
now everything that I have is all Legend Bowl, right? It's all Legend
I
Bowl
know.
based here, as you can see.
Branded.
So we go back Legend Bowl, woo, and we go
Oh
back
my
again.
goodness.
I'm a loser, I know, but I love my game. Anyways, so let's take a look at this. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take a look at what now we're giving him some free
Cal's
marketing,
back.
right? We're giving him
Yeah,
some free
he's
marketing here.
back.
Oh, I just
He's
lost
been
you.
quiet for like a year.
I know. I just lost you on the thing.
What are you talking about? I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. You
Yeah.
kind of. Oh no, it happens when I move over here. So let me just keep it
Oh,
over here.
okay.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
All right, so let's just kind of just. Do you guys want to play it, or do you just want to like talk about it?
Uh, we gotta play it, man. At least get to the gameplay part because okay,
This is the gameplay.
now I'm gonna preface this and say this is another one of those things we need that sounder that says this is where we get ourselves in trouble. But we're not ripping on Cal here. Okay, let's make that clear. He's
But it
got
sounds like
gameplay.
we are, which sucks
He's
because I
got
don't want to sound
gameplay.
that
And
way.
what's the one thing you and I have been asking for is show us some gameplay, right? I'm okay. Like I'm okay if it's rough. I'm okay if it's not perfect. I'm okay if it looks like doo doo. But man, if you got some gameplay, that's something. That's an accomplishment, and I get excited about that. And Cal comes through with gameplay, and I love it. I actually wish he would post more of these videos. He likes to do. He's super into his customization, and I like get that. I think that's why he started making this game like 5 years ago or something. It's been a long road, but
It's been before I started making a game. They were
it's at
talking
least
about
5 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's so into the customization. I wish he would do more gameplay because I love seeing the progress of the gameplay. And it's also good to get this out there just so that like everybody understands this stuff's hard,
Right.
right? It's not just a matter of slapping some animations together and making your guys run around. I mean, Cal's done a decent amount of work here. And yeah,
Yeah.
his animations aren't timed perfectly and they're pretty clunky, but you can see every player on the field is doing something and every player on the field's thinking for themselves and doing something. And that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Right.
So like I love that we got gameplay this time. I'm just really excited about that.
Well, we wanted to bring it up because, like you said, we're not trying to bash on him at all. I'm not trying to we're not trying to come down to him. I mean, he did some shady shit. Like he came out with that video that was an old copy, a black and white copy of NCAA, and he claimed it was his.
Yeah,
That was
I do
shady.
remember that
And
too.
he claimed that he didn't know it was fake. Maybe his developers told him it was the real thing. I don't know. But the thing with Cal is that the reason why we're bringing it up is we love to see anybody doing football, and part of it for me is like I have fun with it because I know it's so hard. I drive myself crazy. I want to see other people doing it, and I want to see what they can come up with, because it's not easy. And for us to do what we're doing, like, we have to pat ourselves on the back, and we have to be our own like best like critics, because it's grueling to do this. And so when I see somebody else struggle, it's not that I want them to struggle, but it kind of reinforces the fact that this shit's hard. And I know that what I'm doing is, and it's not like I'm not saying it because I want to feel good about myself per se. It's more like sometimes you need some like, some, not reassurance, but you just need some positive like feedback for yourself.
It's
And
yeah, it's cool to see a benchmark out there too. What
right.
what are other people doing and where am I stacking up? Am I like light years behind everybody? Because if you only see Madden, it feels like you're light years behind everybody, right?
Yeah.
But when you see some of these other guys starting up, you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing all right." Like my gameplay is pretty smooth compared to this. I feel okay. And it's sometimes it's a little, maybe you look at it and say, "Oh, his customization is a little better than mine," but I'm doing better over here in this area. It's kind of motivating to know that you're on the right track in some areas, you
And
know?
you and the thing is that the reason why I say it is because you need it. Like, I don't have 50 people
Yeah, you
behind me
do.
patting me on the back going rah rah. I'm sitting here in a dungeon, with everything on my shoulders, just like how you do. I know you have a job on top of it. We both have families. I mean, this is so much like pressure. It's so grueling. Like they say, these guys I follow, the minimalists, it's like we're drudging through the drudgery. Like, we're doing the hard, dirty work that nobody wants to do. And I have to pat myself on the back, because if I don't, I'm not going to make it. There are days where I
Oh, I
text you,
know.
I'll text you, or I will go through Discord and I'll say I'm done. Like, I've wanted to give up like a million times, because this is terribly hard.
It's
That's why
hard.
anybody
Yeah.
who ever says, "Oh, I'm going to make a game in a year," the reason why I laugh, I don't hate. I laugh because welcome to my prison. Welcome to my torture chamber, because that's how I feel. And I want to see these guys do it, because I want somebody else to feel my pain, and I want people to appreciate us and them, because it's not easy to do. Somebody like Cal, he's a business guy. He doesn't really know how to code. So he's done a good job of trying to bring in people over the years and, somehow, convince people to work on his game. And he's come up with bits and pieces, and he actually has something now, which I'll give him credit. He's got
Yep.
something that's
He
on a
showed
screen.
gameplay, right? And that's all I ask for. Is just show me the game actually. Like show that you actually are creating something and not just making cutscenes, right?
Right.
And he's got it, you know?
Right. Right. My only like the one thing that's kind of like inspiring to me or challenging for me is like I I go back and forth, because I really think I want to make a game like this one day. I want to make a 3D game, and we've talked about it in many shows and times before, and between us, outside of here. I go back and forth. There's days where I never want to touch football again, and then there are days where I really want to see. Because see, here's the thing. Like, for me, I'm making a 2D game. People discount it because it's a 2D game, but I'm like convinced that I've done like 90% of the work of a 3D game. Like, I know that I have.
Oh, I know you have.
Well,
Yeah.
you may know I have, but a lot of people, and it's not about
Yeah,
proving it to other people.
people
It,
don't understand. They think simple graphics means simple game,
Right,
right?
but it's more of like one of those things that I would like to do as a goal. Like, I want to see what I can do on a 3D environment. Now, it has to be the right game, because we've talked about Madden, and we've talked about not competing. You don't want to compete with Madden. Stay away. You
No,
do not, you know.
don't.
But I do think that if we could come up with a cool idea, maybe your Cyberball idea would be awesome if I could
Yeah.
jump on that, or maybe a Super Mega Football or whatever, or my own project, whatever it is. But I sometimes wonder, like, what could I do with what I've learned from Legend Bowl? But anyways, so this is the Cal Anderson game. You want to talk about it anymore, or you good?
No, I'm good. Yeah, let's just hope that he does some more gameplay videos, because like I said, we basically got like 10 seconds of gameplay video, which I thought was great. I wish he would do more, because he's doing some good stuff in there. I just want to see more of it. And I think it's a good, if there were more plays strung together and it was a little longer, we could kind of break it down and kind of tell people like what's happening in the code and why it looks this way and why it's difficult to go to the next step. So let's just, I'm kind of hoping He puts more out.
Yeah,
I don't think that one ever got on the field. I think that was more of a customization
yeah, he did
and
some field stuff over
play
here, but
calling.
basically, like, yeah, a lot of what he did was the customization. So they've got a lot of tools built, that change the textures and images and all this stuff. He shows the NFL on here, which I thought was kind of funny. He shows like NFL images, and I don't know why he's doing that, but he says it's just for testing. No big deal. Nobody's really
Yeah,
looking
you
at
can't
this.
get in trouble for using NFL stuff,
Not until
in
you
your
sell it, maybe.
development.
If you sell it with the game, I don't really show
Yeah,
NFL on
like
mine.
I think the rule basically comes down to is if somehow you profit off of it, then you're in trouble, right? Whether
Right.
it's marketing or sales,
Yeah.
but just, hey, look, I'm using NFL things as I'm developing this game that may or may not ever make money. So you can't get in trouble for that.
So two things. So one, Cal Anderson, if you're watching this and you catch this video, congratulations. You have something on the screen. That's a major step in the
Gameplay, man. That's a
yeah,
big, big, big step.
it's a big step.
Love
And
it.
also shout out to you for keeping up with this game for 5 years or 6 years or however long it's been.
Grind,
I know
man.
it's been a dream of yours, whether you've struggled or not. We all struggle, and you have something here that's at least showing some progress, and kudos to you for doing that. So we're not going to dog you. We're just going to show it, but we also want to show, and you probably also know this is hard. This is hard. And to make anything like this, we applaud you for doing that. And we're not like
Yeah, if anybody watching this goes and checks out Cal's videos, one really interesting topic we could talk about in the future someday, if enough people care or watch it and want to know what the deal is. You'll see a lot of times, especially on tackles in Cal's video, where you'll see a tackler do his tackle animation and like the players will stop as if the tackle was made, and then like there's a slight delay for the guy getting tackled. And this is something you see in Madden a lot too, not to quite the degree that you'll see it in Cal's, but there's some really interesting behind the scenes stuff in animation. And when I talk about animation being really hard, there's some reasons why those things are not synced up, and those are the things that makes animation really hard, and it's worth talking about at some point. Which is why I wish he had more gameplay, because the reasons why the animation looks the way it does is actually fairly interesting, and it's a good discussion as to why is this so hard.
Yeah, because I did see, and I noticed that the guys were like slipping around the field. It didn't look
Yep.
very polished at all, but I
Yep.
also know that there's a reason for that. It's hard. It's
It's a
hard to do.
big part of that is because animation's really hard.
Yeah. Now this here is the guy we talked about. He kind of like was upset that we talked about him, so we're going to talk about him more real quick.
DJ.
Yeah,
He
TJ.
hasn't
This
put anything out in about a month though. From the progress he was making, I don't know, I almost assumed we were going to see a video a week at least.
right, and this this video here was a month ago, and it's here's the thing that people need to understand. Just like Sean and I, the people that are not happy with Madden and the whole license being taken over and the monopoly that we've been involved, there has been a culture that has been built out of this, and there are people that are so frustrated. Some have technical skills, some don't. Some have resources to do more, some some don't. And this is the fallout that we have. We have people like TJ who he's one of those people that is probably sick and tired of Madden, sick and tired of the options that he has, and he wants to take it upon himself to make a game. The reason why Sean and I are on this guy, and the reason why we got on him, is because we don't want to hear anybody tell us that you're going to have a game in 6 months or you're going to have a game in a year. It's just not happening. Don't
Well, let's
kid
be
yourself.
fair. We weren't really on him. We were glad he was doing it. We were on the comments section of his video. The
Well-
guys who were like better than Madden, like, blah blah blah. All the stuff we always talk about. Like, we weren't on him for trying.
No, not him
We're
per
kind of
se.
on him for fanning the flames of unrealistic expectations.
Well, I guess for me, I get frustrated with everybody talking smack, and I'm not trying to attack this guy at all. It's more he's probably not educated enough in terms of this game development, or he's not familiar with it enough or experienced enough. This is his first football game. Nothing against him personally. It's just the typical things that you hear out there that, oh, I'm going to make this Madden killer game. You had a Madden killer game,
Hey,
right?
that's my name.
Yeah. make a game that's gonna be this great game when it's not gonna happen that quick. It's just not. I mean, Super Mega Baseball took like 7 years to make, and that's a baseball game. And they made a great product, but still, their first versions weren't that great. This stuff takes time, and
That's hard.
I just wish the community, like the football fans out there, understood. And I wish people like us, people who make football games, got more love. Sports game, period, developers got more love because they just don't. And part of it has to do with people that say things that are just not real, not realistic, And that's why, like, look at this guy. He hasn't had a video in a month. Hopefully, he makes a great game. You and I
I hope
want.
he hasn't given up.
I hope he
He
hasn't
got
given
to the
up.
passing part. I remember being at that part. It was actually really fun when I got my first football to throw. That was actually really cool. And I hope it's enough to keep him excited. I really hope he hasn't burned out on this already.
I thought he was making pretty good progress. When I saw
I
this,
thought
I'm like,
so
okay, he's
too.
throwing the ball. He's got the guys moving around, but he's gonna run into that roadblock, which is
Gonna hit the wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
animation, then figuring out all the other parts of football.
When he tries to get receivers to run routes, when he tries to get blockers to block against rushers, that's when the hard stuff starts. And I hope that's a really big wall to hit. And it looks like he's getting close to hitting that point. And I hope it doesn't like kill him.
But the cool thing about it is that he is another guy that's doing some football, and we just love seeing it. We really do. There's also another thing out there that I just saw, and you guys probably heard the news on it, and I'll show it in a second. But let me just try to pull it up while I'm talking. But shout out to you, TJ. I don't mean any disrespect. It's not you personally. It's just I want people to understand that this is hard. And if you want to get on and do a video and you want to ever talk to us, we'll be down to talk to you. We're not above that. We just know it's hard, and don't tell anybody you're gonna have this game done in 6 months. That's just a word to the wise. It ain't happening. It's gonna take a
Yeah,
while.
I really want to see him get past that point where I think the wall is, right? Like I said, it's getting multiple players to be animated, blocking, running routes and things like that. That's a really big hurdle, and I really hope to see him jump past that, because once you get past that, then you can just kind of keep building on everything, and it's almost like a ball, like a stone rolling down the hill. Once you get past that really hard part, blocking and running routes and things, like the rest of it, you just keep building on it, and I think you could make it then. But he's at that part where that's a huge technical hurdle to overcome here.
Right. And so I guess I don't know when it came kind of out that we were like I think he made a video. He made a video and he was confused that he thought that we were attacking him, and we really weren't. The
I
one
don't know.
thing
You know what I wonder? I bet some of his community said we were attacking him, and he
maybe he
kind of
didn't watch it all.
went
I don't
into it with
know.
that mindset. I don't know, but
But
that's too
whatever,
bad.
it is what it is.
You know?
We just wanted to show it to just show another example of this is a guy making a game, and we hope the best. We haven't heard from him in a month or so, and we're not surprised. People told you you're
Yeah,
going to eat your words if when he
the
comes
hard
out with a
part.
game. Hopefully we
Yeah,
do eat our words, and he does come
yeah.
out, and we're rooting for him. But at the same time, he's got a long road ahead. And another game that just came to Switch is your favorite game of all, Retro Bowl.
Oh God.
And I know that I kind of talked to the guy before, so I have nothing bad to say about him. But the reason why I guess I'm
No,
laughing,
I for what his goal is, right? He's done an amazing, outstanding job. Like
yeah,
he has succeeded beyond anything I could ever hope to succeed. Um,
he's got his game on Switch. I know he's doing
he's
very
doing
well on
great.
mobile.
He's so successful. He's hit his niche at a
Yeah,
thousand
and
miles an hour, and you got to
yeah,
give your hat up.
and he made
Tip your
that
hat off.
game in a record amount of time. He picked the perfect slice, to push a game
Yep.
out there, and he didn't take years to do it. And he's doing very well. He
Nope.
jumped on the Tecmo Bowl bandwagon, and it's working out really well. I think it's a
Yep.
great for my game. I think it's great. Press. I think it's going to help my
Oh
game in the
yeah.
long run. To be honest with you, because people who
Absolutely.
it's cool too because he's doing this is what I like. I like people who do things differently because he's doing something so different. If somebody wants a different type of game, then they're gonna go to this. If they want a game like mine, they'll go to mine. If they want a game like yours, which you're making now, we have different options now, and that's what we miss, right? We
That's
miss
the
the
best part
options.
about this game being so popular is people can see there's room for a different kind of football game, right? And he's proving it. He's kicked the door open for us. He's
Yes.
proven to everybody there is room for a different kind of game.
There's plenty of room, and there's plenty of
Yeah.
football fans in the world. People are dying to play football games, and Madden is the only one really that they touch right now. We all know 2K is coming out with a game at some point, but we don't know what that's about yet. It's supposed to be a arcade style game, but
I'm curious. I'm curious what that's going to be.
the cool thing
Watch
about
them
Retro
come out
Bowl,
with 2K Cyberball. That'd be my luck, right?
if that happens to you, that sucks, man. I apologize if that happens to you.
My God.
But I wouldn't
That
be
would
surprised
happen
if
too.
I mean, I don't
That
think
would totally happen.
they're not going to do that. I wouldn't
No,
worry about it.
they're not
but-
going to do that.
but that would be-
No, they're
that
going
would
to
be
use the
kind of
NFL
interesting.
license in some way.
Yeah, because they're going to have the NFL license, right? Because they can do it, but just not sim. So yeah, they're
Yeah,
not
they
going to.
just can't do sim, which is
Right.
ironic because Madden can't do sim either.
Right, a AAA company's
That's my
not going to.
choice.
A AAA company's not going to do the indie route. They're just not doing that.
No.
They're going to go with some kind of football, license. But yeah, that's what they're doing. But they're just not doing it sim, I guess. But what I wanted to do next was pull up my game. I'm going to try to run it.
Hey, do Sunday Rivals because Ryan's just put out an update too about the weather. Remember that?
Yeah, I like that actually. The Twitter.
I actually, again, I love
post.
that Ryan is making Sunday Rivals and it's doing as well as it is and it looks as good as it is. I mean, this is like the most beautiful football game I've seen in a long time. The guy knows his visuals. He's a visual wizard.
Here's the thing and thanks for reminding me because I wanted to bring it up and let's see where he's at. I know I liked it today. Let me just find it. Sunday Rivals.
Yeah.
He has really, like, I always see his game and I'm like, man, I wish we had all of the elements he has and just we had our own, players and gameplay that we can just drop on there. And maybe that's what we do one day with him. Maybe we talk to him and get him involved. I don't know. But he put a tweet out. I swear he put a tweet out today.
He
that
did.
had
He had
snow.
like the weather, the snow. Yeah.
Where is that? I liked it today. Like I actually hit the like button on it.
Did he, you know what? He may have put it out under his
Oh,
Ryan.
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
That looks pretty damn sweet,
My
man.
God, he's so good at that.
And even the
Look at that.
even the snow on the field looks nice, like textured. The lines are. How the hell's he doing this stuff? Like
I
even the
don't
screen
know.
has
He's
like the little
so good
droplets
at
on it.
this.
That's pretty amazing, man.
He's got, well, here's the other thing that's amazing. He's got the snow, the field changes. He's got the visuals. The fans in the stands are animated too. Like, how in the world does he pull all of this off?
And how is it
his
running
flags
without
are
breaking?
animated.
Yeah.
It's like,
how's
my
it,
God.
How's it running? How's the performance working on this game? Because I have a hard time with
Well,
my
he's-
game and performance.
That's why he's so much smarter than me, right? I think he does it with shaders or textures, and it's not actually animation. I don't know, something like that. He's using something much lower in resource usage, which just tells you how smart the guy is, right?
Oh yeah. I swear to you, that is the best looking snow I've ever seen in a football game. And I'm not even joking around.
It's great.
This is probably the most impressive thing he's done, and he's done a lot of impressive things. And this is to me the one that's kind of hit me today. I'm like, whoa, like, dude, like, man, just you need to like sell this to me, and then to you. And
I know. I keep thinking the same thing. It's like, dude, can I just let me take your game and I'll build the franchise mode, right? I'll put college in it. I'll put pro in it. Like, well, I'll do that. We'll have your game engine, and it'll be the perfect game.
But what I would want to do is take his visuals. I would take his guys out of there. I would probably try to get some new artwork, and not because this is bad, just because I have a vision of like super mega football, and this is the perfect environment for that.
Well, you could just take I think he's building it in Unity. You actually could just like toggle a little button, change one number, and those guys will stop being blocky and will look rounded like super
really?
mega. Oh yeah. Unity is sweet, man. I know people love to bag on it, but my God, it's awesome.
I didn't know you could do that.
It
because
does all the hard work for you.
That's the thing that he's got the blocky look, the polygon look going or whatever.
Yeah, you could change that really easily. Just change the normals on it, and then they look round. Yeah.
Well, but kudos to him. He's doing some great stuff with that
Great.
game, and I'm definitely like looking forward to seeing more updates from him.
Yeah, in the chat, they're talking a lot about the field. I think it's by design. I've played this game a decent amount, and the game is it's not football sim. It's very like if anybody played the very first Tecmo Bowl when it was an arcade game, um, before it was on consoles, this reminds me of that. Like the passes are super loopy. It's
That's true.
really not about getting space on the field and winning individual matchups. It's really about just like getting lucky, and the game's more about the visuals, and like everything looks really cool and is really exciting, and kind of the story emerges from the game. It's really not a strategy game. So I think the field is small by design to reinforce that. That's my thought anyway, because the small field fits perfectly with his gameplay, because it's not sim.
Yeah, I think that was a great point. The Tecmo Bowl arcade game, I used to play the crap out of that. My mom would
You
drop me
remember that? You,
off.
you shake the joystick as fast as you can to
Yeah,
break the tackle,
I
and you
used to
break
dump a
the
lot of
joystick
quarters into that
basically.
game.
Oh
That game
yeah,
was awesome, man. I loved that game, and it was like the first game I saw that had the double like widescreen monitors, and
yep, yep.
it was
You
awesome,
could have
man.
4 people playing at the same time, which was insane, right?
That game was like the beginning of like me. That game was so like futuristic as far as the technology, just the way
Oh,
it looked, the way
I've
it was
never seen
controlled.
anything like that before. Yeah.
And I've played it in the past, and it's so simple now. You look at it you're like, oh, but the way the ball gets thrown, you're right. It looks exactly like this. Or it
It's
reminds
just
me,
like this. It's not about getting space or getting open or winning matchups. It's about just lobbing it in there. And if your guy catches it, then it's the shaking the joystick, and it's like all the huge hits that shake the screen. That's exactly what Sunday Rivals is.
but that
Right.
Tecmo Bowl game had the one thing I liked about it that I wish this game had a little bit more of, and I think that it would be this feedback from me to him, I guess, is the controls in Tecmo Bowl were very tight. Like everything you move was tight. The guy moving up and down was very tight control. This is more like slippery and slidey. That's kind of
A little
his,
bit.
yeah, the way he's doing it. I wish the controls on here were a little bit tighter. But I also know the artwork that he has, like the animations, the models, it's probably hard to do it. We're talking a pixel art game versus this game. So it's easy,
Yeah.
to say they had tighter controls, but anyways, it looks great. It really does. I'm trying to run my Legend
Well,
Bowl project. Are you going to bring up your Cyberball stuff afterwards? I want to share that with people here. Let me look at the comments. I'm very
I'll
bad
bring
at.
up. We'll just do a couple of screens just so people can see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
We'll do that after your Legend Bowl thing. But a little digression on Tecmo Bowl a little bit more. Do you remember when, like I'm sure you were like me, you were obsessed with the arcade version of Tecmo Bowl, right? With the shaking the joystick around to break tackles and things like that. Do you remember when the Nintendo version, like the console version of Tecmo Bowl came out, and how disappointed you were? Because if you were like me, I was so disappointed that it wasn't anything like the arcade game. And now looking back, like the console Nintendo version of Tecmo Bowl was like the gateway drug to football games. It ended up being like the most defining game of my childhood. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
funny to think at the time when it came out how disappointed I was in it.
Well, that's because you're spoiled. You're spoiled, Sean.
Well, yeah.
You're a spoiled guy. You want everything to look pretty. No, I mean, I'm with you. I don't
I'm like,
remember. I
this
don't.
isn't Tecmo Bowl. This is dumb. And then a month later, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever played.
I don't remember. I don't remember how I felt like when it first came out because it's been so long. But I definitely was. I definitely was just like you. I was used to the arcade version of it, and for me, it was like, wait a second, where'd this game come from? Because it looks nothing like it. I was pleasantly surprised with the way it turned out. Like, I think that the Nintendo version was pretty awesome, obviously, and
And
so does
turned
everybody
out
else.
being awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out to be phenomenal, and when they got the license, it got even better with the next version and everything. But I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the actual arcade version here for you guys, so you guys can take a look at it while we're talking. But this game brings me back.
Oh
This
my
was like the
God.
glory days, man.
Yes.
Like it was just. Let me just pull that ad off of there. But it
I
was.
forgot about how cartoony it was. Oh,
Oh, it was so awesome, man. Let me see if I can get
God,
this
that
up.
was good.
480. Um,
Yeah,
and
look how loopy it all is. Yeah.
it was fun, and if you look at the players, they're all the same exact model. you know?
Oh yeah.
Back
Yep.
then, I mean, all these guys are white players. Like you didn't have like those. The sports games didn't have different like ethnicities in the players. They were all like the same
Yeah, they were.
thing.
Well, you remember computers and everything back then were so like a RAM working memory limited
Oh
that like you
yeah,
couldn't load any textures. You could only load like one texture. It was you
but
had no memory.
this game had 4 players. You can throw the ball and pass the ball. When you go to receive the ball, you jump in the air sometimes to catch it.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, right? It's not about getting open. It's about just throwing it up and seeing what happens.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I'm trying to look at the comments here to see if I can find anything. I'm really
Whoop.
bad because I'm doing like 10 different things
Boink.
at once. But if you guys have anything you want us to talk about
Caveman.
or any questions, definitely
Oh, I love
remind
it.
us on here. Let me show some Legend Bowl if that's
All right.
cool with everybody. I do want to show you guys a live.
Like they're all laying. Oh, all the defensive player or all the offensive players are laying on the ground on their backs at the end of that play. That's so funny.
It's so funny because this OBS thing's funny. All right, so you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna jump in here and try to do some.
Well, I can see it. There's a delay for the YouTube. They can't see nothing except more Tecmo Bowl.
So check it out. So I have been working on franchise mode as we talked about. I'm gonna go ahead and load the latest version here. I want to kind of walk you guys through what's going on. So I'm gonna do this one here because it's not. Oh, this is the off season already. Hold on. Let me grab a different roster because I wanna like show you guys. Let's see this one. Okay, yeah. Don't mind the menu there. But this isn't done yet, but I'm going to go ahead and sim. This is a new menu. It looks a little different. So now you can kind of simulate the playoffs too. And while it's doing that, I just want to walk you guys through a sneak peek. If you're here watching us and you guys are checking this out, then this is the first I'm showing this. So be sure to check it out because this is like a sneak peek of what I'm doing, and a lot of it is all the off season part, right? Like what you do at the end of the season. And this is exactly the way it looks right now. It may change a little bit before it comes out, but this is the way it's rolling. So you have the winners, and then all of a sudden it goes to the championship picture. I might have some text before that or something, and then from there it says, "Do you want to go into the off season?" Right, and then boom, you're in the off season now. Okay, and you're still with me, right, Sean?
Yeah, I'm here. Just watching.
All right. You seem so excited.
Well, I haven't played the off season yet either. Like I'm interested.
All right. All right. So check
I'm
out
already thinking about drafting. Like, all right.
yeah.
When's
So
the draft come up?
right. So I got some new screens here. We got the off season team is just going to take you to your roster. You can look at your team photo, which is just something I put in here because it's fun to do. I love looking at this. This is pretty awesome. And obviously you can look at your roster and go across the league, look at all the players and go back and forth. But as you're going through, you're going to have this light menu here that is basically in order. These go from top to bottom. And the first thing you're going to do is retirement. This is going to take you through all the players. The screen's messed up on the bottom there. See, I just found a bug. Cool. This one was supposed to be done, but I say a
This is
little
for bug hunting.
Yeah, I know, but you know us, we're always looking. But down here, that should not be 2 things at once. But I got to fix that. That's a minor thing. But basically, what you can do is you're going to have a setting that allows you to control all teams or just your team. And obviously, in this case, I am just the Buffalo. I don't have any players that are retiring. Lucky us. But if you are controlling every player, you can try to go in here and you can persuade these guys to stay. Right? You can say, do you want to pay them to stay or not? And if it's your team, like if it's the Buffalo team, I'm going to lose some credits, right? At the end of the season, you lose all your facilities in the game and you get like a portion of it back to spend here and you can just pay this guy to either stay or not. And this time it failed. But since it's not my team, my point is that if it was my team, the money would come down. If it's not your team and you have control over all teams, you can do this all day and try to keep, whoever you want basically. But I got to fix the buttons there. But this is the retirement period. It's all done. And this is a cool thing I did too. which is the news that kind of goes through everything, all the retirees that went out, and you can see kind of who left and who kind of signed on, right? So it gives you a quick picture. You can auto scroll it. But the cool thing about this is that every phase of the off season is going to give you a report, basically, a feed that's going to give you all of the information. So this is all working. The reason why I'm showing is to show you guys A, what it looks like, and B, this shit works. You know, it's almost done. And then now free agency. Now this
Hey,
opened
before
up.
you move on to free agency, Phenomenal View had a question. He
Yes.
needs me to ask you. I think I already know the answer. He just wants to double check that you're bug hunting and that like you're fixing there's a replay memory leak and that franchise mode isn't going to get in the way of those fixes. I just basically told him you're always bug hunting and fixing stuff, and that's not going to slow down console release or franchise mode.
No, he's got a question about a replay bug. Is that what he said?
Memory leak on replays.
Yeah, well, that's an issue that we're gonna have to. It's one of those. Are you talking about the one? I think he's talking about the issue that if you let the game just play, if you're on the field and you let the game just play and play and play for like 3, 4, 5 minutes straight, it's gonna the recording of the game goes into a memory leak. It like dies.
Oh, yeah.
It basically dies. If that's what you're talking about, then that's something that I haven't fixed, but it doesn't usually happen unless you have a bug in the game and you're sitting there waiting for like 5 minutes for that play to end. So if the
Yeah.
play is like under a minute or two, which most plays are, you don't have that problem. If you're talking about a new bug, then obviously put it in the, our bug thread. But yeah, no, bugs are not.
Yeah, they're
Unless-
not going to slow anything up. You
No.
just kind of fix those as you find them, right?
Yeah, bugs are never
Yeah.
going away. I'm just working on this unless there's like a major bug. Oh, the slowdown thing. Yeah, that's one thing we're going to look at too. He's saying that when you go into a game and you come out, the game starts to kind of have a memory leak. I don't know how. I've checked that a
Oh,
million
yeah.
times, man. Like I'm not killing something. I'm not disposing of something the
Yeah, I
right
get
way.
that every once in a while too. I hate
Anyways,
those.
it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. We'll get on that view. So free agency, this was something that I wanted to do. So we're not going to do your typical free agency where you go in there and you can just pick any player. What it's going to do is it's going to look at all the players that. So the retirement are all the players that are old and they have a certain percentage of, hit random chance of being a certain age and getting, and they also have to be out of their contract, right? So their contract needs to be ending and they have to hit this window of, are you old enough? Then you get spit out into your retirement, right?
Yeah.
Then the free agency goes through all the players that have ending contracts and it looks at their morale. It looks at all sorts of different things to figure out who are we going to throw on this table here. It looks at your
Yep.
salary. Like I told you earlier, if you're really top heavy on your salary and you're bloated, you're going to get 3 guys and you're only going to be able to pick 1 to keep and lose 2. If you're lighter, you might lose just 1 and keep 2, right? So it flips.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea
Kinda
here.
cool.
Yeah, and I made it very simple because really what we want at the end of the day is 2 things I'm trying to accomplish. One is get this done in a very reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
And 2, which, that's always hard to do. And then 2,
Yeah, that's the trick.
give you the fun factors and the decisions that you would make in a fully fledged franchise mode without having to build all the screens and all the crap and make it a little bit fun. Because one thing I didn't like about even 2K5 or Madden, I don't play it, but those kind of games, it's just too much of a big, huge
It's-
sandbox.
It's too much.
It's
Yeah.
not like you don't get the light, clean, like path version. You get like, okay, here it is, and figure it all out with spreadsheets. And I know your stuff is like that, and it's good for some people, but like sometimes you
Yeah.
just want to go through the motions, and just be like, okay,
That is
like
true. Like even on my game, I get to that point where it's like, okay, if I don't want to do all this stuff, can I still play the game? Right? Because I get to a point, it's like, man, I don't want to go and deal with all this nonsense. I just want to play.
right. And on top of it, you like Retro Bowl is exactly this. They present you with like a lightweight team. You like manage like 10 players. I don't even know how many. You don't play defense. They have like
Well,
a very
I mean, you really only need a fast wide receiver.
yeah.
Ignore the rest.
In that game, that's all you need. You need fast players. So here,
Yeah.
like
I
we have
went
a decision.
undefeated, like 3 years in a row with just one fast wide receiver, everybody else average. I was like, okay, I think I'm done now.
Right. But if you look at this, it's telling you, hey, you got to choose which player to drop, right? And so I'm going to drop one player here and keep two, right? So in this case, what you can do is you look, these are, you have a left tackle, a right defensive tackle, and another left tackle. So your line is kind of getting hit here. Your best guy here is an 88 overall, right? He's got a $14.2 million contract. He seems like he's a little unhappy. The guy on the left is happy. I'm not getting rid of him, right?
Keep him.
Yeah, I'm going to keep him for sure. I'm probably going to either drop the guy in the middle or the guy on the right but I want to look at
Just
the
drop that
roster.
middle guy.
Yeah, so if you look at the roster real quick,
Holy cow.
the middle guy is an 80, the right guy is an LT. So now it shows you on here in green the guys that we're talking about, right? So you can get a
Better
quick
keep one of those
snapshot.
tackles.
Yeah, so one of
Actually,
those,
just get one in the draft.
yeah, just get it. So I would basically get rid of who here? The right tackle, the right defensive tackle, or that left tackle at 88? No, 88's good, man. I'm not getting rid of him.
Yeah, I guess I keep him. Is he happy though?
I don't know. The right tackle looks like the best play.
Hey
I
man, if you
think.
don't want to be here, get out. Cut him if he's unhappy.
I'm
That's what
getting
the
rid
draft's
of
for.
I'm getting rid of the RDT, which is why. So he's gone. Now I'm going to go through and just let the CPU pick each one of these just for fun. And then once you're
All right, so
done,
if you let a guy go, how do you do the other two just stay then?
no, if you let a guy go, what happens is he goes to a team, and the
Yeah.
worse your team is, the more chance you get of getting that cool guy, and then you drop your worst player, right?
Right,
So
but those other two that were in there, they stay, right?
they stayed. Oh no. In
Okay,
that case,
okay.
they stay. Because see, like if you look at this one, it says which player do you want to keep. So here you keep one, you drop two.
Oh, okay.
In
I get it.
mine, you in the bill or the steel, you kept two, you drop one,
I
right?
gotcha.
So this is
That's cool.
that's kind of like the way
Yeah, I
to
like that.
say,
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
And this team's a better team than mine, so they have to drop two guys, right? So they're in a bit
Yep.
of a bind. But look at the guy on the left; he's a $25.9 million stud, but he's unhappy as hell, and that's not good because every time if they're
That's good, bro.
unhappy, they come up a lot more and they want to be traded, they want to be let go.
Yeah.
So it's a problem. And then you have to make these choices, and now you're losing guys left and right. So you kind of want to
Mhm.
get rid of those guys sometimes. But anyways, I'm just going to go through this
That's
so you
really
guys
cool.
can, yeah, so you can kind of see what happens. And then once it's done, then as you can see here, like if you look at the steel, we kept the two left tackles on the top here, right? We kept these two guys. And then we dropped this guy. And what happens is these guys will re-sign, and then this guy gets dropped, but he went to Tampa Bay, and we got an exchange. We got a better guy. We got an 81. So we got lucky.
Nice.
We got a better player. And I don't know how.
Pretty cool.
I guess they have good defensive tackles there, but we got their worst defensive tackle, I think, and so we made out, right? So that's the way it kind of works, which I like it. It's a quick way.
Pretty cool. I like it.
Quick way to manage your squad. And then and this is what I'm working on now. It's not fully done. That's why you got this guy sitting here down here. It's still kind of a little messed up. And then the draft, I'm working on it now, and basically you go through here and you can pick whoever you want. You can go through positions. You can look at every player. You can't see their traits because their traits is kind of secret. If you know their traits, then you kind of know their potential almost that they could become, but so you don't want to see that here. I do show their stats because they may be an 88 overall right now, but if his traits aren't the right traits,
What pick do we have?
he may go down. Round 1, pick number 1.
Oh, we got the first overall pick?
Oh, Buffalo? No, Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't have that showing yet. I don't know
okay.
if that should be what I was gonna do on the bottom here is have that ticker that I have, where it shows you like all the different draft picks. But I have so many buttons already being used, as you can tell.
I know.
I don't really
Drafts
have
are tough. It's a lot of information that you need. Because you've seen my screens. I run into it too. There's so much information you need to know to effectively do a draft.
I mean,
Like you run out of buttons quick.
what I could potentially do, which is actually now that you bring it up, you won't be able to see it. I just brought that pen up, that pen that we like. But I can probably put like here because this section is not being used. My stuff just kind of like, okay, here we go. This section down here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but underneath the experience part, between the columns, the column headings and that orange bar, I could probably put the next so many picks. Maybe you can scroll through that or
Yeah.
something left. I don't know.
Or
We'll
you just
see.
need some. Are you intending? Is the draft supposed to be single player or multiplayer? Because if it's single player, all you need is to know where your pick is.
Well, it just depends. If you have, we have a setting that allows you to control all teams or just your team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be tough then.
But you just, it's
Quick
easy.
question from the chat. In the off season, do the players progress, get better and worse during the
They-
off season?
they do.
Or do they stay the same? They do get better and
They
worse?
did.
Okay.
They actually did right between, you know, and I don't know how it's going to be shown. I don't think I have a way I'm showing what happens. You're going to have to just figure it out, or I may have I may have the news show it at some point. I don't know, but what'll happen is between the free agency and this screen, they progressed. So you just don't see it right now. And then on here, basically, you can come in and you can draft somebody. It'll tell you the guy you're drafting, obviously, and it'll tell you who you're going to release. And you can also look at your roster here to take a look at your guys. And I'm controlling all teams right now, so you can see everybody. But if I draft this guy, then it goes to the next team and the next team. And then here I'm at Buffalo. And you can just sort by QB. You can sort by any position you want. You can do all. And so it's working. It's
Cool.
working. It just doesn't, like, when you finish, it just doesn't go to the next screen or anything. It just, or the news yet. I have to do the news, but I'm like 90% almost done with this part of the franchise. I have other things that I wanted to do, but we'll see what makes the cut. But that's
cool.
That's it in a nutshell. So if you guys have any questions or anything, hit me up in Discord or here. But that's it. Yeah. That's what
That's
it's
cool.
showing. Yeah. So you want to do your stuff now?
Yeah, I can just show real quickly what I got going on here.
The only problem was showing.
Like I said, it's just I
don't
can just
know.
share.
Yeah, but no. The way OBS is working right now, it may not show it the right way. So we might have some technical problem. But if you're just going to show some screens, I may be able to pop them up on my end. Let's see. So how'd you guys think? What'd you guys think about the? What'd you guys think? See, that's. Are
Can
you
see it?
Yeah. Are you just going to be showing images or the actual game?
No, I was gonna jump through a couple of screens.
Okay, hold on then. Let me set you up real quick because I need to do something for that. Because I'm using OBS, right? So
On our Google Meet, it looks like it works.
What I might be able to do, actually, let me do that. That's probably a better idea. Let's do Google Meet.
I'm gonna ruin our stream here by trying to share something.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh man, that's not right.
There we go. So your camera got hosed, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll just do a couple things here.
Hey, you tell me when it's working.
Yeah, I'm like the there we go. Get you out of here. And then transition this over. Okay, that's the best I can get. Can you maximize that anymore, or is that good? That's good enough for people to see.
This is maximized.
Okay, well then they can see it now.
All right, if they can see it, that's good enough. We're not doing any action. We'll figure that out before we get to gameplay. But I just wanted to kind of buzz through a couple of screens so you can kind of see where we're going with Cyberball as like the concept, how it's going to be slightly different than the old version of Cyberball. As far as modes right now, it just
you got it working. You got the screen actually.
Yeah, I'm doing all this
moving.
with the gamepad. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you were here. I thought you were just doing like static screens.
Oh no, this thing works, man. Like I said, I'm like 80%. This whole interface is like 80% done.
Can I pre-order this? How do I get this game?
Yeah, wait till we have gameplay video first, right?
No, I want it. I want it now. I see 4
I know.
controllers. Let me get this game.
All right, so for game modes, first of all, right, 4-player. That's gonna Cyberball is 4-player. You gotta have 4-player. It's just so much fun. So I got it set up so that it's 4-player multiplayer. You can see on the bottom of the screen there. Quick play, right? I think most people, especially if you have 4 players, are going to be playing quick play, right? This is where you just play against your buddies. you do tournaments this way, right? Each team has I don't know, can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I love those
Okay.
logos, man. I know you got
So
them, but
like
those
the
logos are
Puffers are the
nice.
worst team in the league. And you can see, right, they have I have each position, each functional position that I'm gonna have in the game has their own level, right? And the Puffers have the lowest level of everything. So they're iron, right? If you remember the old Cyberball, right? You buy material upgrades for your players. So I kept that. Um, so they're the worst. And then they're playing the Ducks, which are slightly better. So they have a few upgrades. I think Platinum's my highest level. And then, of course, I tried to color code everything so you can see it really quickly what they're good at and what they're not. So the Ducks have a Platinum passing back. So they're going to be kind of an option team. On defense, looks like their safeties are pretty good. So my kind of team. But the idea here is quick play. You just play. It's just fun. You don't have to worry about anything. You just pick a team and you play. We'll get to season mode last because I don't have a back button set up for that. But the ladder challenge, this is something that's kind of like Cyberball in the arcade, where you remember you put your quarters in, you played, and at the end of the game you put your initials in, and based on it saved your record based on your initials. So if you kept playing over and over and over, you would have a record against each of the coaches that you played against. Right. So there was that was like the only kind of progression you had in that game. So I've tried to take that idea of beating other teams and I turned that into a mode. So what we got is this ladder challenge where you'll start as the Puffers in the tier 3 teams. These are the bad teams. And you'll play the Ducks, right? You'll start with $1 million or whatever the number happens to be, and you can upgrade your team with your budget, and you play the Ducks. And if you beat the Ducks, the next game, you are the Ducks, and you play against the Bombs, right? You start with the Ducks roster. And if you beat the Bombs, then the next game, you are the Bombs with the Bombs roster, and you play against the Gators. And you work your way up the ladder until you beat the Kings with the Cyborgs. So the idea here is, one, you have to beat all the teams, but two, you actually have to play with each of the teams and their strengths and weaknesses as you go through this ladder. Now, I'm still got to figure out, do I randomize the ladder at some point? Do I, maybe within the tier, I kind of flip the order around every once in a while so it's not always the same team against the same team. Haven't quite figured that out, but that's basically the gist of this ladder mode. And when you get to the top and you win, you unlock something. The other mode is the season mode. And this is kind of like ladder mode, but more of a league type setting. So we will be the Puffers the whole season. And this is like the ladder, right? So if the playoffs were to start today, the Kings and the Cyborg would play in round 1. But we're going to have like 10 games or 12 games. And my first game is going to be against the Cyborgs. Maybe I'll lose. But then like my next game might be against the Gators. And if I win that, I'll move up in the ladder. Right. And then my next game maybe is against the Hornets. And if I win that, I'll move up in the ladder again. And the goal is to keep moving up the ladder till the end of the season. You want to be in the playoffs. And then if you win the first round, you play against this top secret team that's already predetermined out of a bunch of top secret teams, right? There are 10 unlockable teams that you don't know anything about when you start a career. And then as you let's say you beat this top secret team, that team.
Are you doing too much talking? That's how I felt when I was talking about my game. I was like, man, I'm talking too much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit here.
The microphone.
I'm gonna get your game a little bit more zoomed in so that people can see the beauty.
So the idea is when you beat like a top secret team, that team's unlocked for you to play with or against in the other modes. And if you win in round 1, you play the other top secret team. And And then if you beat them, these two top secret teams are then unlocked for you to either play in season mode or play in quick play or, whatever else. Let me turn. Cause I didn't rig up a couple of these buttons. Yeah, this one's not set up. But basically selecting team, I just have this whole section over here for all these top secret teams. But that one is not live yet.
You've done a lot, man. Like I'm trying to pay attention while I'm doing a couple of things, and you've done a lot to this game. So you have,
yeah.
so what, real quick, what are your, you have season mode, ladder challenge, and how many modes do you have? You have quick, so you have
three modes right now. Quick play, season, and ladder challenge. I think that's all I'm going to start with for right now. Who knows? Maybe if I have a really cool idea for another mode, I could put it in there. But right now, that's all I got. I don't want to overcomplicate it until I got the game engine done.
I think it looks awesome so far, man. I think that this is I think it's a perfect like project to work on, man. I'm jealous because I think you're going to be able to get this done in a short amount of time, man. Like relatively speaking,
I think so. I think I'm going to
have. Are you done sharing your
done.
screen? You're done?
I'm done now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all the other screens that are working. I just don't have it all wired together yet. But we're close. Like you can save and load your career. You can reset your career. And by career, I mean like, you'll do a season mode with the puffers. When that season's done, you could start a new season with a different team. Like I could start as the Bandits, do a season as the Bandits, and play different teams that also include those teams I've unlocked. And then I can do another season later. Maybe I'll be the Kings another season, right? Or maybe I'll be one of those unlocked teams. And that's your career, and it'll keep track in the trophy room. How many teams did you complete a season with? How many teams did you win the championship with? And it's sort of like an unlockables. It's kind of like Steam achievements, except for Cyberball. So there's a lot of different things you can do in the game with these three modes. So I'm kind of excited about it.
I'm pretty excited about it too. I think that the gameplay is going to be the part that's going to really make this thing shine. I think that what you just showed there, I think it looks great, man. That's the best looking stuff you've shown me so far.
That's the best interface I've ever made.
Yeah.
I had one question in here. How many levels of alloy metal for the player replacement after a blow up? My plan right now is to go down one level. So like if you have the magnesium quarterback and he blows up because you tried to run your quarterback on critical, he'll go down to like the aluminum one, and then you could purchase your way back up. Kind of like the old Cyberball.
So let me ask you, when do you think you'll be able to start working on the gameplay part, whether it be animations or models being imported or anything that has to do with the field stuff?
2 to 3 weeks, I think.
Before you can start working on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have one model already ready to animate. I got my animation system set up to animate that guy. The next model should be ready in a couple of weeks or sooner, because we're going to reuse some of the components from the first model.
Do you want to show that model now or no? It's too early.
Not yet. Okay. We're going to save that. But the first two models are what I'm using as the quarterback. So the one I got now is kind of like the quarterback so far. The second one's going to be the receiver, and the third one's going to be lineman. So with those three, I can start the engine.
Sweet. I'm excited to see it. And, it's early because you just started this like what?
Yep.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool because like, even though you don't have like a commercially like super successful game, all the stuff that you've learned in the past with Unity is all coming together. And this game,
funny how that works.
Yeah. This game is probably going to be, the one that takes all your skills and applies them to, maybe you have something pretty sweet on your hands here. I don't know. There's not a game like it.
I caught myself today thinking about the game engine, and like I already know how it's all going to work. I'm thinking, all right, blocking. How's blocking going to work? Oh, well, I'm going to use Cyberball type blocking, right? Bounce blocking, where the lineman comes down, boing, and they bounce off each other like Cyberball. I was like, all right, well, how do I block left or right? And because I've done all the Desktop Dynasties 2 stuff, Like, I already know how to do that. I already know how I'm going to set it up, which means I already know how to set up plays and player ratings to make that system work. Like, I haven't even touched the keyboard yet. And because of all the desktop dynasties work I've done, I already know what that's going to look like and how it's going to work. That's such a relief that I'm not going into the unknown on this.
And that's what I wanted to find out too, is how confident are you in your ability to make the gameplay, like how good is the gameplay gonna look? Like how much easier is it for that to actually look great versus what you were doing before with human models? Like
Oh yeah, that's part of the reason I was so excited about Cyberball is because they don't have legs. Let's just put it that
so
way.
none
Right?
of your
They
players
don't
are gonna have legs? None of them?
No. I'm not
Ah,
doing any of them with legs.
that's the one
Because
cool
once
thing
you
I
have
liked
legs,
about the
you got to use
QBs.
humanoid animation, and
Right.
that's where you get into trouble.
But that was pretty cool back in the day with Cyberball when you had the QBs that had legs.
Oh, that QB animation was so janky.
Yeah.
Nobody would accept that now.
It was cool though. It was cool. But so
Well,
they're
for
all
the
going to
day
have
it
what,
was,
wheels
the
and
day was
tracks?
25 years ago.
Yeah. So they're all going to have like tracks and
You can have tracks or wheels or this
wheels.
or that. And the thing is, if you don't have legs, you don't have to have the running animation. And if you don't need the running animation, you don't have to merge and mesh running animation to turning animation to catching animation to throwing animation. All
That's
you
a
need to do
huge,
is
huge
move the
win.
arms and the body the way you want them to move. They
Right.
don't have to mesh.
And even
It's
the arms are
perfect.
probably going to be like, it's not going to be some crazy,
Yeah,
like, like
so easy.
wild movement.
Yeah. And they're robots, right? We're not used to seeing robots play football. We all know what a human playing football looks like down to the most minute detail, right? So, like, it's easy to say your animation sucks when it's people because we all see people every day. Nobody sees a robot playing football. So, like, who's to say what right is?
But
Right?
here, okay, let me ask you this though. So like that Unreal, like they have to, let me just ask this the right way. So not to be naive or ask a stupid question, but somebody in the comments may say it too. Like there are so many robot like assets out there. Like why couldn't you grab a humanoid robot with legs that looks like a human and use them in the game? You think it's still just way too much work to get all the animations working for them? Because I mean, look at the guy TJ. He had the guy throwing with that mechanism or whatever that guy was from Unreal. Like, how hard would it be for you to do that? Or you just don't want to add that complexity to the game? It's too
Yeah,
much.
it's super complex to do as humans. I mean, I have a lot of robot animations that are humanoid. I must have or animations and models. I probably have a dozen robot models
You have a
that are
lot in your
humanoid.
studio. You've bought a lot from Unity.
I got a lot of them, right? I got a lot of robot models that are humanoid, and I have a lot of humanoid animation. I've got probably a couple thousand of those. So having animation and having the models is the easy part. The hard part, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier with Cal Anderson's video, the hard part is putting them together so they flow from one to another in a way that feels right to a human who sees humans every day, all day, right? We all know deep down to our core what a person running looks like. So anything a little bit different than that looks like crap.
My wife and my kids showed me a video of me running, and I swear to God, I look
Oh,
like an
God.
old man.
Don't ever
Like
look at yourself run.
I look like shit. I'm like, geez, I'm running like that nowadays. That's not good.
Yeah,
That's not
I
good.
know.
Somebody asked
That's
real quick in
terrible.
the
You're like,
comments.
you saw yourself running and you're like, that ain't sim.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not as good as Madden.
That's not soon. Somebody was asking about scouting and I think they're talking about my game because they're talking about the
Probably because there's no
draft.
scouting in Cyberball.
Yeah. There's not going to be, listen, there's not, you guys need to understand that the player attributes that you see, like all the skills and the numbers, that's what they are right now. You may have a guy who's a 90, and yeah, I know you don't want to see it because you think you're getting a cheat sheet into what they're going to play like. They're a 90 today. Fast forward 5 years, they may be a 75. You have no idea what you're getting when you draft. It all depends on how the guy evolves over time. and there are hidden attributes, which I mentioned. There are the hidden attributes that are in the background that you can't see during the draft. That those are the pieces that dictate and facilitate whether your player is going to progress upward or downward as they continue their season and as they age. Because other people were also talking in the Discord about everyone's going to progress to be a 99. Well, as you age, it becomes like a bell curve where your age gets the better of you. So when you're young, you're faster and you're more agile. But as you get older, your skill goes up, but your agility and your speed start to come down. Your strength may go up too, because as you get older, you get more muscles or whatever, you get stronger. But the point is that as you get older, you start to come down. You're not going to be like Tom Brady where you're up, 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 up. That's not really going to happen for most players. So there's a lot behind it
Or
that
most game devs.
that you guys just can't see. So don't worry, Zachary. This was Zachary Garrett. Don't worry, man. I got you covered. It's all going to be good. But going back to Cyberball,
Yeah.
I think you got something good on your hands, man. I don't
I
want
hope
to talk
so.
too soon, but for your schedule, you're doing this part-time.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I get
great
about 2 to 3
opportunity.
hours in the morning a day before I go to work.
Right.
And then depending on how tired I am in the evening, I get like an hour or so to just kind of set up for the next day.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good rhythm though. Like I do my hardcore coding in the morning when I'm smart, and then when I'm dumb in the afternoon, I kind of just set screens up for the next day. Right, set up my screens, lay everything out, and then I leave the coding for the morning.
Yeah. See,
Because I
I,
get dumber as the day goes on.
yeah, I do too. There are times where I sit and look at the screen and I'm like, what am I doing? And
Oh yeah,
and I don't walk away. Like, this is the problem I have too. Like, whenever, like, I was talking to my wife about it last night. I'm like, now that I do games for a living, like, whenever I want to play a game, I always go to my game. I tell you about it all the time. I always go
yeah,
to my game, and when I work on my game, and there are a lot of times I shouldn't be working on my game. I'm too tired, and then I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about how to fix things or how am I going to design this or how I'm going to, tweak that or whatever. And it's a lot. There's a lot that goes
yeah.
into it, but with the amount of time you have, I think it's a pretty sweet idea, man. I can't wait to see. I know you have a lot of time before you get here, but I can't wait to see what the gameplay looks like because that's really gonna be
I'm
the
really gonna try to get that feel of Cyberball because that feel
yeah,
was awesome. Right?
yeah.
The two things that real Cyberball has that I gotta get right. The feel of acceleration. That game was all about acceleration,
But you lose
right?
it quick too, right? You get a boost and then you're slowing down
Exactly.
again.
Like the tight ends had terrible acceleration, but their top speed was the best in the game. Like your running backs, the key between the titanium running back and like the steel running back was how fast did he accelerate to the outside. So acceleration's got to be right. The other thing that really it's got to feel right is turning like certain players turning on a dime, right? Everybody knows that feeling of your wide receiver when you go into the end zone for the 2 point for the 1 point conversion, right? Because passes are 1 point. You go into the end zone and you lob that what do we call it? The mailbox, that pass everybody uses. No,
Mm-hmm.
airmail. That's what it is. You spin the wide receiver around, right? Because that ball's coming and you get to the point, but you get a little bit past it. So you got to spin the receiver around to get his basket on so he can catch the ball. Turning has got to feel right. So those are the two things: acceleration and turning. If they feel right, I think the rest of it will be I'll have a little bit of freedom to do some other things if I can get acceleration and turning to feel right.
I remember when this game was in the arcade and it was a huge, like hugely popular game. There were lines of people like
Oh yeah.
the winner stays on, and you had a line of competitors behind them. And
Oh
I
yeah.
remember my brother and I, when I told you this before, I think we were in the mall walking by and we are like, oh my God, what is that game? And that game was so hard to play. Like I had a hard time learning how to play that game. It wasn't easy at all. And there's a lot of strategy behind that game. So are you going to
Yeah.
are you going to try to get that feeling? Like, cause that game is deeper than it looks, a lot deeper
It
than it
is.
looks.
It is. And that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why I added all those other upgradable players is because the strategy of who do you upgrade at halftime or during the middle of the game, like when your quarterback or running back is smoking, Like, do you upgrade him or do you just let him blow up? Because if you're a running team, maybe you let your wide receiver blow up, right? And you save that money for halftime so you could get your titanium running back. Or, all right, my running back blew up on a critical run. I didn't get it. So now I start leaning on my passing back and I change my whole attack. So my thought is by opening up the upgrades, I can kind of give a few more of those things. Like, all right, do I want to upgrade my corners, or, do I want to get like high level corners, or should I get average corners, but upgrade my safeties as well? Right. Do I want to be linebacker focused team and just upgrade my outside linebackers for blitzing and my middle linebacker for run support? Right. I want to kind of open up all those options and have it more than a simple max out your team as quick as possible.
And for those of you
Hopefully
guys,
it all works out, but that's my plan.
for those of you guys who didn't see this, I went to an arcade auction and I almost bought this unit right here.
Oh my God.
But I was bidding it. Look, it was crazy because everybody, you had a bunch of game freaks in there, and you had people who were resellers and people that owned arcade, shops or whatever, arcades, whatever, and or bowling alleys or whatever. And this game, like they were going through each game, and some got really high up in price, some stayed pretty low. This one, when it first started, like I was the only one bidding. I'm like, okay, $100, and like nobody said anything, and I'm like, oh shit. And then somebody said something, and then like within like 2 or 3 bids, all of a sudden this shark came in when it got high enough, and he's like, he bid it all the way up, and him and I were going back and forth, and I swear to God, I could have got this game for like $300 or $400, and then he bid it up so high, I'm like, I'm walking away. Like if he didn't talk, I could have got the game for super cheap, and then, but then he ended up spending like $500 more, $600 more than he should have, because I really wanted the game. But this was the picture I took, and I sent it to you back then. I almost bought this game, dude. Like the actual arcade.
4-way cabinet I almost bought a few years ago. The tournament one, where you had the 4 cabinets that were kind of,
yeah, they had that one there too, but it wasn't working right.
Yeah, I almost bought that one like a few years ago, but it was like $4,000. I was like,
oh no,
there's no way. There's no way. It's too much.
I forget what this one went for. I forget the exact dollar amount it went for. Maybe I told you in the because I was telling you
it was
about
a lot.
This.
It was a lot more than I would have thought for this one. I remember you telling me that.
It went for $775, which doesn't seem that bad. But I swear, at one point I could have got it for like $300-400. I'm like, I'll buy it.
Yeah, that one I wouldn't spend a ton on.
No.
The 4-way cabinet's the one you want.
Yeah, but that's so big, I would never have anywhere to put it. That's the problem with that one.
Find a place to put it. You put it smack dab in the middle of your living room.
Yeah, okay. And I'll be sleeping smack dab outside.
Yeah, you will. Take it with you then.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. But Cyberball is a really cool idea, man. I'm really jealous that you work on. But I was just watching the one before with the quarterback that was running, and I know you don't want to hear this, but he's not doing anything crazy. Like I don't think
it's not happening. I'm not doing humanoid animation. Nope.
I'm gonna annoy you.
Too much time.
People tell me all the time.
I would also have to create a secondary animation system just to handle humanoid animation. Like it's just not worth the time right now.
Yeah.
If there was a Cyberball 2, maybe, but not for the first one.
I mean, but there are other teams that don't even have it. They don't, like the humanoid robot is not like this. Oh no, they were all human. They were all the humans, right?
Yeah, the quarterbacks are all human, and all the middle linebackers are semi-human. Yep.
Okay. Well, then we'll have to see what it looks like. But
yeah, no humanoids in the first version. Like I said, if it's popular, maybe we can add it in the second version. But just to make it simple and
too much
fast
work
to get done, you got to stick with one system. Can't create 2 systems.
Well, then you have to make sure the quarterbacks can't move too fast, right? Or else you can probably cheese with them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Set up so that each different position is going to have its own ratings, basically speed, acceleration, all that stuff, and then each level within each position is going to have its own specific upgrades. So, like the passing back, when he gets to titanium, will have a different speed and acceleration improvement than, let's say, the running back when he gets to titanium. And that'll be different than the quarterback when he gets to titanium. So it's all going to be very position specific. So each position feels different.
So how do they progress in the game? And just shout out to Ray Brown. Thanks for the donation. He said, love the show, learning to code so I can be as great as you two. Keep up the great work. Well, thanks, man. We appreciate that.
These were great.
That's cool. So how do you progress in the game? What were you saying? Titanium? You were throwing out all these metals. I'm like, damn, I want to invest.
So the way Cyberball works, if you don't remember, if anybody doesn't remember, is you earn money playing the game, right? Defusing the ball gets you money, completed passes get you money, touchdowns get you money, interceptions get you money. You get money by doing things. Then you spend that money to buy upgraded versions of the position. So like for me, I was always a running team. So at halftime, I would save up enough money to upgrade my running back to 1 or 2 levels, depending on which team I was to start with. So like say I saved $250,000. I'd spend $40,000, upgrade my running backs. Then I'd spend another like $65,000, upgrade my running backs again. Spend, I don't remember what it was to get titanium. Let's say like $90,000, upgrade it again. So then I would come out of halftime with these super awesome running backs. But then during the game, like your quarterback, you can see his running back is smoking right now. That means he's gotten hit too many times and he's damaged. Some points during the game, if you have a smoking player, you either get the option to upgrade that player right then. So you could say, upgrade my running back, and he automatically gets that 1 level better and stops smoking. Or for a cheaper price, you could just repair him at the current level. If the players blow up, they go down a level. So if I had a titanium running back and he blew up, he would go down to the next level down, which was like magnesium.
So then when they go down a level, they're just going to have less stats.
They're just slower. They accelerate slower. They turn slower, basically.
Nice.
See, he's buying a titanium running back with a quarter right now. So he's going to have a better running back in this now.
So yours is going to mimic this game to a T.
Pretty close.
Much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very close.
Nice.
Just a few graphical updates, obviously better player modes, play modes, because we don't have to pump quarters into it.
Right.
But otherwise, it can be pretty similar.
Sweet. Do you have any type of price that you're thinking about for the game?
No,
you're not even there yet.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a publisher. I think I'll probably work with them on that. Because I'm not going to port it myself. I'm going to have a publisher do it, and I'm just going to make the game and have them do all that stuff. Just because I'm not interested in the marketing or the sales angle of it. I'll let them do that.
Sweet. And how much?
But then, while they're porting it, I could start working on the next thing too, which is really cool.
Right. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but how well does the game have to do for you to call it a success, you think? Maybe not exact dollars, but what we're talking about.
Yeah. Honestly, if it got on consoles, let's just say it did get on consoles, right? We got it on Steam, we got it on consoles. I had a publisher doing all of this stuff. If it made like $50K, that would be enough for me to make another one.
Sweet.
I would call that a success.
$50K, your cut?
Yeah, my cut would be $50K, so like $100K total.
Yeah, I think you could do it.
That'd be enough for me to make another one. Probably not full time,
right?
But I would make another one.
Full time though. What would it be full time? That's the question I want to know.
Full time would have to be a lot more than that.
You think so?
I would need 3 years of runway to do this full time. That's what I would need.
3 years?
3 years.
Damn. Okay.
Which isn't horrible because I'm pretty good with my money. I don't buy a ton of stuff other than game dev assets.
And models, yeah. You got to buy new models for the game. It costs money. Yeah, because
I'd
love to see you succeed at that level, man, and get out. And I hope that
I don't think it's unrealistic. I think it's possible.
Yeah. Because 3 years isn't going to be that much. If you're smart with your money, you could probably do it. Yeah.
And if Cyberball, or it won't be Cyberball, right? Phenomenal Views said that. Different names so I don't get sued. It'll be something other than Cyberball, but it'll be close to Cyberball.
Call it Madden.
Yeah, I'll call it Cyber Madden. But 2K Cyber Madden. I'll
put a robot figure of Madden. I know it's too early, but man.
But if you
poor
think
guy.
about it, if the game made enough for me to have 3 years runway, that means it's fairly popular. And if
Yeah.
it's that popular, a version 2 with a franchise mode would probably be even more popular.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you hit 3-year runway with the first version, there's a good chance you can keep running with it.
That's my problem with Legend Bowl. I didn't want to do a franchise forever, as you know, and then like I didn't know what else to do. So I'm like, let me just do a version of a franchise mode that's going to make this game playable. And I have time for the guys, you know, who are porting the game. They said it would be cool to add it in if I wanted to. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited about what I'm doing with franchise mode,
Yeah,
and hopefully it
I think it's
helps
cool.
out. Yeah.
I think it's cool.
You know, there's a lot that had to be done too. It takes a ton of work just to get your code to handle multiple years of stats and have everything kind of, you know, roll over and get it all working. It's time consuming, but my plan of making franchise mode Legend Bowl 2 is now kind of, you know, dwindling, and maybe it becomes a bigger franchise mode, or I make a totally different game because, you know, I'd love to make something bigger, but that's also like I told my wife yesterday, I'm like, I don't know how I even did this. To start a brand new game that takes you like 4 years to make,
Yeah.
I don't have
I
the
I
I don't have
couldn't
the
do that
energy for
anymore
that.
either. I don't
Yeah.
have that many years left.
Yeah. It's too much.
I'm old as it is. I don't have that kind of time.
We got to start making mobile games. Candy
Get out of
Crush,
here. I'm gonna
1
hang
month.
up on you if you say that again.
Oh,
Mobile
come on.
games.
You have a mobile
Oh
game
my
playing right
god.
now on your
You
lap.
might
Don't
as well
lie.
try to convince me to do NFTs. My
NFTs make a
god.
lot of money. So do mobile games,
Yeah,
apparently.
not for me though.
Oh man. Well, I think this was a great show, man. I think we can
That's a good
end it
one.
here. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it out there. I know we kind of just went through a lot of different things, but man, I'm gonna rewatch it because I liked what we talked about.
Oh
I
yeah, I
enjoy this
always
stuff,
do.
and we'll try to get
Look at that. We
through.
did a whole show and we didn't we didn't complain about Madden. Like we're growing as people here.
That's a bad sign. We got to go back to Madden. We got to go back to
Maybe
Madden
next
sucks.
time. See, to
Yeah.
make up for it, we'll do double the amount of Madden next time.
Yeah. Well, I know I got a lot of work ahead of me. You have a lot of work on your plate as well. But we were on for shoot, an hour and 47 minutes.
Holy cow. It's a new record.
Yep. So you just lost that much time of your life. Gone. Boom. Psh, poof.
It's going to end quick, man.
But everybody out there, if you guys don't follow Sean, follow him. He's going to be getting some videos in this game. I'm excited to see the videos. This is where you're seeing it now, early footage. But
You can find my YouTube channel at www.maddenkiller.com, 3kfootball.com.
His YouTube channel's on the link.
You think I'm joking?
Link below, by the way, for people who really want to go check it out. But yeah, you have maddenkiller.com?
I'm not joking. Literally, maddenkiller.com will bring you to my YouTube page.
You're kidding me.
No, no.
I'm going to try it right now.
100%. Do it right now.
Killer.com. Oh, is it going to work? You are an exact scumbag. Look at you. Boom.
Hell yeah.
Damn, I didn't know you had that. You had that
3K football will get you there too.
You're a pimp. You're a pimp, dog. All right, man. I think
like
we're done.
my greatest achievement right there.
You could drop the mic now with that one.
I
So we
know,
had a
that's
bunch
good
of people come through here. Everybody who came through, we appreciate talking to you. We do. We have fun doing these. We welcome anybody. Any challengers out there who want to challenge us, come on down. No, we're just having fun, and hope you guys like what you see with what we're doing. We're happy to share it with you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video for sure.
Yeah. See you next time.
Peace. Later. We're done. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe. Later.